Previously, we talked about how the skill tree system and leveling work in our indie game Wisplight, and in this devlog, we'll talk about how we implement this complex system to our game. For those of you who are new here, I'm June and I'm making a game where you play as a wisp, a glowing ball of light you can transform into different monster types to fight human invaders exploiting your island home. Basically, it's a reverse RPG where instead of playing as the hero, here we play as the monsters. If you're interested in following the development of Wisplight, feel free to subscribe to get development updates. Let's begin! As of the moment, we now have several skills made for our skeleton warrior, and our goal in this devlog is to manage these skills in one skills manager for every monster type. Let's start with our skeleton. For starters, let's make a setting for each skill that the skeleton has. And for each skill, we will make a level for that skill, a base value, then we will make a boosted value per level of that skill. So how this works is we take the base value and add the boosted value multiplied by the level of the skill. This will give an incremental value to it as the skill levels up. This is a very simple method, but it works. For example, our skeleton's healing skill. We have here our base HP recovery, which is 20. Then we have a boosted HP recovery called heal bonus HP recovery, and we'll also set it to 20. Then we have this heal amount level, which is represented by this slider, and we'll put a max value for the level up to level 5. So basically, if we do the math, if our healing skill is level 1, it's 20 for the base HP plus 20 for the boost multiplied by the level, which is 1. And this will give us the healing value of 40 for our level 1 healing spell. If we change the level of the healing ability to the max level, which is 5, we will have a healing value of 120. So yeah, it's that simple. Now let's make it a bit more complex. Let's add the rest of the passive skill nodes related to our healing ability, which are the restore speed, which increases the speed of healing as it levels up. Then we have our essence reduction, which gives a discount to the essence used depending on the level. Then we have stability reduction, which also gives a discount to the stability when we use our healing skill. All of these skills have their respective base values and boosted or reduction values, as well as their minimum and maximum levels. Now let's test it. Let's compare a level 1 healing to a level 5 healing spell, including their speed levels and reductions. So, as you can see, there's a big difference in the amount healed and the speed it takes to complete the healing. Also, you can see the difference in our essence and stability consumption. Clearly, leveling up our healing skill is a huge advantage for our skeleton. Now, off to the next skill. Let's try our dodge ability. For our dodge ability, we have branching skills that come with it. These branching skills are dash attacks, where we can move forward and do fast strikes at our enemies, as well as an upgraded passive skill that improves this attack, following up on the first strike. Then we also have our dodge counter, where we can dodge enemies and instantly activate a dash attack combo after dodging. We also have passive nodes that affect the evasion distance for our dodge and dashes, as well as stability reduction for every time we use this ability. These skills are already made in our game and we just have to tie them down in our skeleton skills manager. So just like the heal spell, we need to make a base value, a boosted or reduced value, and a level for the skill. Then we modify the effects of the skill to match the values given. In our dodge ability skill tree, most of our active skills only have one level. The rest of the passive skills are upgrades to our active skills. For example, for our dodge ability, we only have one level, just to activate this skill once we assign a skill point to it. But we have multiple passive skills that improve on this active skill. For example, the evade distance that modifies the distance traveled for every time we dodge or dash forward. Now, let's do what we did with the healing spell and tie the dodge skill tree to our skills manager. Now, let's compare our minimum dodge ability to its maximum level. Let's start with the dodge skill. As you can see, there is a slight change in the distance traveled when we dodge. This is actually intentional, since before I tried making it too far and it's too overpowered and enemies can't catch up with you when you're dodging. So this is already a more balanced version of it. Next, let's compare our dash attack with a level 1 evade distance and a max level evade distance. Just like the dodge skill, you can see here a slight difference in the distance traveled when we do our dash attacks. Now, for a dash attack combo. If our dash attack doesn't have the combo node active, we will have this type of dash attack. But if we allocate a skill point to the dash attack combo node, our dash attack looks like this, giving additional fast hits. Let's compare the two side by side. Let's do a slow-mo to clearly see the difference. Alright, looks great. Now, let's compare the stability reduction passive skill when we use our dodge and dash attacks. As you can see, there's a huge difference in the usage of stability when we use our dodge and dash skills. This is very crucial for the skeleton monster type, since our skeleton has very low stability and can easily break in battle, so upgrading the reductions are essential for making the skeleton a bit more stable. Now for the last few skills that we're going to implement. Let's add our Fortitude, Essence, and Stability stats to our skills manager. So as you can see here on our skill tree mind map, there are several passive nodes for our stats spread across the skill tree. And these nodes' function is to add a boost to our skeleton's stats. For example, we have here the Fortitude passive node. When we activate a Fortitude passive node, this will give a boost to the skeleton's max Fortitude. Same goes with other stats like the Essence and Stability stat. Each monster type though has different max nodes for their stats. For our skeleton, we have 10 nodes for Fortitude, 10 for Essence, and 5 for Stability. Then they all have their respective base value and boosted value. Other monsters have different max nodes though for their stats. For example, we want our armor to be a tank type monster with high fortitude and stability, but with low essence. So we gave it more nodes for fortitude and stability, but lesser nodes for essence. Alright, let's fix our skeleton and have the skills controller affect our skeleton's max stats. Let's also make a dynamic status bar that changes its max width depending on the value we give it. I will share the creation of this dynamic status bar on the next devlog, along with the next skills that we'll be integrating to our skills controller. Alright, let's test out our skills controller and our dynamic status bar. Let's start with Fortitude. It's working. Now Essence. Alright, then Stability. Alright, it's all working. And by the way, we now have a Discord server, thanks to Aidan who volunteered to manage it. We also have Erin, our 3D artist who just finished modeling our tree creature, and Nari, our UI artist who just started making our UI icons for our skill tree. We also have Alex who volunteered to help us with our sound design and is currently working on some samples for our Chapter 1 forest area. And they will be sharing some sneak peek on the projects that they are working on for Wisplight. So I'm inviting you guys to join us in our Discord server. It's good to have feedback and suggestions all the time. We want Wisplight to be a game that is made by the community, so I'll share a link to our Discord server down in the description. I'd also like to thank my Patreons for supporting the funding of Wisplight's assets. They're also in our Discord server and we will be having some combat demo soon. I'll be having the first set of close combat demo for our patrons to gather feedback. Then we'll do another set of combat demo for the rest of the community in our Discord server. We still need to complete the entire skill tree system for the skeleton though, so it may take some time. So on the next devlog, we'll continue integrating the rest of the skills to our skills manager, and I'll also share some details on how I made my status bars dynamic when max values are changed. Till next time.